The match that got a lot of attention in one of the earlier years of TNA was the Unbreakable 2005 pay-per-view featuring AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe versus Christopher Daniels, that triple threat affair. People raved about this for years, that match as well. Specifically, we could go any number of ways on that match, but did you have any hand in actually booking the match itself?
This is talent's job. You give them, and I didn't deal with the X Division that much, but you give them the finish. This is where we want it to end up. And we want it with a little bit of a slant on it. Then you give it to them. You give it to Joe. You give it to AJ. Give it to Chris. And they go off. Then, and it's according to when you give it, you may give it to them 2 weeks in advance. I'm sure that's what WWE does, maybe more. But they work on that particular match that whole time with each other as a committee, and then they'll go off, then they'll come back, and they'll go off, and they'll come back. And eventually, when they come back, they'll come back with what they think is probably the best version of what you wanted. And you couldn't ask for 3 better guys to go off and come back with something like that. And when you tell them you want to leave a little bit of an edge on it, they put the edge. And when creative hears this, you either agree, you adjust this, you adjust that, and let it ride. They had a great match. AJ and Chris Daniels now, I think he works for the AEW. He's a good agent, really good agent. And Joe is up there. He's in AEW now as a talent, does a great job. And of course, we know what AJ's doing. So you couldn't ask for 3 better X Division guys to put that match together. And I think it went like 30 minutes. Now, for a 3-way, for a 30-minute match, that's a lot of work and a lot to remember. But these guys have worked with each other so many times. They know exactly what the other guy's going to do before he even does it. I mean, both of them know, but the guy that's watching, he knows what's coming up and to get ready for it. But they put a hell of a match together, and because the agent, all he's going to do is direct it. He's not going to, and it's up to talent to put their matches together.
Who's most likely to have agented an X Division match like that at the time, do you think?
Jerry Lynn, probably. But anybody, I'm not saying anybody, but a lot of guys could have agented the match because the talent, they're the ones that's putting all the emphasis in. They're doing all the work. They're the one having to do it, and they know what to do. The agent just has to listen for some big spots. Say you want one of them to lay out a minute or something else to happen. Well, they just put that in there. And that's all. That would be one thing the agent is concerned about. But other than that, it's the talent's job to put all that together. That's why some talent elevates itself above others, because of their ability not only work, but to arrange. And they're all orchestra conductors in this match. They're all quarterbacks in their own right. They're all calling their different plays. But that is heavily, heavily complicated to put a 3-way together to go 30 to 40 minutes. Believe me, it is.
I suspect this is one of the few matches you actually will remember in your time in TNA because it was so so highly regarded at the time. Do you think it's like an unsung classic now because there's been so many matches like it? I mean, does it deserve the accolades that it received at the time, do you think?
No, it really did deserve that. I even watched it. I was in catering and I heard the people screaming. I said, what the hell is going on? Are they shooting? Are they shooting somebody out here? And I actually turned it on. I watched the last 20 minutes. Great match.